This panel is premised on the idea that the greatest threat to human rights today comes from Western sanctions. In truth, the gravest assault on human dignity comes from authoritarian governments that oppress, jail, and torture their own people.
Financial and trade sanctions are unlawful and contrary to the Charter of the United Nations.
The economic, commercial and financial blockade imposed by the US government has devastating effects.
Large-scale and uncontrolled use by Western countries of unilateral coercive measures, UCMs are pure and simple hegemony.
Unilateral sanctions regimes violate fundamental human rights.
I now call upon United Nations Watch.
Madam Chair, this panel is premised on the idea that the greatest threat to human rights today comes from Western sanctions. In truth, the gravest assault on human dignity comes from authoritarian governments that oppress, jail, and torture their own people. And so we ask this panel, is it right that the Special Rapporteur, Ms. Douhan, has traveled to Qatar, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Iran, Syria, and China, not to defend the victims of these dictatorships, but to lend a UN imprimatur to the propaganda of the oppressors? Ms. Douhan, when the people of Venezuela cried out under Maduro's misrule, when Syrians were bombed and slaughtered by Assad, when Iranian women were beaten for showing their hair, what was your response? To blame the West and excuse the despots. Why did your office get $50,000 from Qatar? Why $265,000 from Russia? Why $980,000 from China? Who believes that Sheikh Tamim, Vladimir Putin, and Xi Jinping gave $1.3 million to help human rights victims? And let us be clear, sanctions are not the cause of hunger in Cuba. It comes from a one-party system that for decades has denied its people freedom, choice, and prosperity. Ordinary Cubans know it is not sanctions that prevent them from growing food freely or importing without state control. It's their rulers in Havana. The UN should be defending victims, not enabling their oppressors. By turning this Council into a platform against the West, today's discussion betrays its mandate. If we care about human rights, let us first demand accountability from the governments that oppress their own people.
We have heard derogative language or remarks. This is not acceptable. No personal attacks against mandate holders should be made in this setting. And I will now continue with the speakers list.
Thank you, Vice President. Cuba categorically rejects the offensive, out-of-order, politicised comments by UN Watch, a so-called NGO, which, far from constructively contributing to the work of the Council, dedicates itself systematically to manipulation, provocation, and insulting sovereign states. It's shameful and unacceptable.